Hey guys. Okay, this is webinar number 7, and you'll notice something different here. There is no Hector. Hector's got the flu and he can't actually talk, which we didn't think was possible, but it's true. Hector lost his voice. Anyway, he was good enough to actually write up an outline for this webinar, which reading over it is brilliant. Some of this stuff in here is really gold. So what we're going to talk about today is the 7 characteristics of highly productive businesses. Now, I'll quickly run through what those 7 things are, and then we're going to go through and give a little bit more of a detailed sort of explanation as to each one of them. So, step by step. First one, create a written, evolving task manual that employees refer to daily to complete their work. Number 2, share that system with their immediate manager, compelling them to inspect their work daily. Number 3, make the system flexible so tasks can be switched, completed with instructions and to other staff. Number 4, ensure the system is able to be constantly updated and improved with more efficient methods. Number 5, build into the system accessibility for the chain of command in your business. Number 6, devise a set of performance statistics that update in real time within the system. Number 7, embed usage of the system deep into the culture of your business. Now that sounds like a lot, and that sounds fairly complicated, but I'm going to break down in more detail each thing, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek. It's actually built into our artemisapp.com system that we've been building for the last 3 years. So this is actually a rundown on what we've worked out works really well for making businesses hum along. Anyway, Hector's got written down here, the average employee works 8.8 hours per day and is productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes each day. So yeah, that's right. They're productive for less than 3 hours per day in an almost a 9-hour workday. So that's 1/3 of their time is actually productive. And the rest of the time they spend doing cool things like reading news websites, Facebook, personal calls, job searches, coffee breaks, texting, playing Candy Crush on their phone or on their computer, wherever they can find it, and hiding out in the toilet. So your first inclination as a boss, I suppose, is to ban all those extra activities, so they're going to get busy and do other stuff. People simply will find another way to waste time. They'll find a way to do your work, but they'll do it in such a way that the time is filled up, they will look busy, but they'll still waste it. So what you need to do is find a way, I suppose, to disrupt the standard paths and to modify staff behaviour to change the game completely. And this is where the Artemis system that we've actually been working on does change it and does help that. But you can actually do this without it. You don't need a complex system. You don't need a simplified system like our Artemis system. You don't need complex software. You can get away with doing this if you're clever with your spreadsheets and your documents and things like that. But anyway, let's have a look. So number 1 out of our 7 characteristics of highly productive businesses is create a written evolving task manual. Now this will take a bit of time. Most people will do the same task slightly different, some more efficiently than others. This needs to evolve so it can gain even more productivity every time you modify the task list. So the idea of the written manual is that you have your steps 1, 2 and 3 for each task or process in your business. Now what that does, obviously, it sets a standard for how things are done, so you can keep some sort of quality control. Ideally, you want people to be able to access that written manual. You want people to be able to modify it so it's easily updatable, and you want people to be able to refer to it daily so it can't be hidden away. It has to be somewhere easy to find, easy to update, easy to change. And obviously you want them to follow it. Number 2, share that system with their immediate managers and compel them to inspect their work daily. Now the idea behind that is that people do not do what you expect them to do. And I know you'd like to think that you can tell your best employee to go and do something and you never have to check up on them again. Big mistake. The worst thing you can do is not go and check and see what people have done. They will miss things, they'll drop the ball, they'll cut corners, they'll have a little bit of a break, they'll get distracted, things will get missed. Now, over time, that can actually become a bad habit. So what you need to do is you need to make it easy to inspect what they're doing. Now you don't particularly want to, I suppose, be micromanaging. We'll talk about that later. But this is particularly important if you have staff in other locations. Now if you look at Software House And we've got our VAs that work out of the Philippines, and I've got some people that work in Indonesia and things like that. We have some standard procedures we run, and we use our system for it, that we can check at the end of each day what they've actually done. So we can actually go back and also check what they've done each month. So we can actually check and see where they got up to and make sure they actually got done. And we don't actually have to do that by going in and checking the work. We've got a procedure in place that allows them to tick off what they've done. And when they do that, we get a little notification to say it's been completed. Is it right? And that's basically how we set that up. Okay, number 3, make the system flexible so tasks can be switched. Now this is important. If you're in a business that's starting to grow, or you want to have some time off, simply if you just want to have some time off from your business and you don't want to be locked into it for the rest of your life, and I know some people maybe would like to work in their business until they die, maybe it is that exciting. I haven't found one that is that exciting that I want to work in it until I die. You want your systems, or you want your manual set up in such a way that if someone new comes on board, here it is, this is what you need to do. And it needs to be set up in such a way that it's not overwhelming and it's simple. So look, if we talk about what Hector talked here, if you find an employee or a contractor simply overwhelmed with the amount of work they have, then make it easy upon yourself and hand the task to someone else. It's obviously splitting the work off. It's easiest obviously with a computer-based system or web-based system. I do recommend using a cloud-based system, accessible anywhere on any device. That is a big help. Like if you're out and about and something happens in the office and you need to check up on things, you don't want to have to run back to the office and check on it. You don't have to try and get into some computer system. If you can do it on your phone, brilliant. That way you can also hand that task over to another person to take over. So if someone's dropped the ball, you can get someone else to take it over and they can complete the work. They can go through the work method statement, they can work out what needs to be done. They may not have even done it before, but at least they can get in there and check what needs to be fixed up. So that helps you react to situations that are outside the norm. It also helps you delegate so that you can take time off, expand and grow your business. So that's number 3. Number 4, ensure the system is able to be constantly updated and improved with more efficient methods. Now, the worst thing obviously in a business is if you get a method or way of doing something, and you might have thought it was the best way at the time, but you find a way that you can cut that time in half again, you'd want to do that. Now, if you're going to change things to suit new technology, new systems, then the last thing you need is a work manual that costs thousands of dollars to put together, and I've seen these manuals put together, and they gather dust in a cupboard. Yeah, very old school. A lot of places still have it. They still print them out and they still pass them out. People have got to read them through. They use them for a month or two and then they get forgotten about for about a year and a half. And then eventually they just get thrown out because we don't do it that way anymore. You need to continually improve on these methods. Like in an ideal business, you want to be increasing your efficiencies and your productivity. And if you're stuck in the game and you're chopping trees down as fast as they're growing, trying to keep the work coming in and everybody paid and things like that, it is very hard to continually improve on the processes. But it is crucial. It is critical, especially in this day and age. We see a lot of stuff going overseas, a lot of competition coming in from overseas. Just competition's changing. The way technology changes things so quickly, if you're not keeping on top of what you're doing, you'll become very old school very quick and someone else will take that work. Not saying that it's going to be a situation that happens all the time, but it will progressively happen. So keeping on top of it also means you're going to keep your clients a lot happier too, because you're going to provide a better quality of service. Number 5, build into the system accessibility for the chain of command in your business. So it's always distressing to find that your staff have been cutting corners for months, damaging your sales or profitability or even the visibility of your entire business. There's nothing worse than finding out that expected something was going to be uploaded to the website in a certain way, and instead of optimizing the graphics so they load in half a second, they just uploaded them as full size and they load in 2 minutes. And this website that your client has now got and trying to use is going super slow because someone forgot to optimize the graphics. Seen it happen, had it happen to me years and years ago, and it doesn't happen anymore. It'd be much better if you had your finger on any problem as it arises. So putting in place checks and stops. So having there an accountability system. So usually what we call this micromanagement, and it's normally regarded as a bad thing, but being able to see the problem without looking over your staff's shoulders all the time is going to revolutionize your business. So being able to see that all the processes are being checked off and you've got a green light across the board, literally a green light across the board, that's how we're looking at it now with our current system, that people have checked it, someone has followed up and double checked it, and you know that what's going out is exactly the way you want it to go out. Number 6, devise a set of performance statistics that update in real time. Now, normally for a small business, this would be almost impossible. Like keeping a check of these sort of things adds such a workload into a small business that it would literally bring you to a grinding halt. But you can do it. You can actually set it up so it's almost transparent. So it becomes part of the normal daily working things and actually increases efficiencies. Now, performance statistics, obviously KPIs, the first thing your accountant should be telling you, as a business owner, is you need to set up KPIs. You need to set up some sort of key performance indicators. And these key performance indicators should be simple. They should be important to your business, like number of leads, number of sales, hours worked, revenue, profitability. You should be able to be woken up in the middle of the night and be able to rattle these straight off the top of your head. You should know exactly where everything is up to. Like I know Robbie, just in the last 3 days, her efficiencies at the sales and marketing side of the business has dropped by 40% because she's been ill, she's been sick. So I've actually seen that on the chart. So on our control panel, when we see the performance of all the different areas, I've seen Robbie's performance has actually dropped because she's had a few days where she's been sick. So I know that straight off the bat, that's something we're going to have to pick up on. We're going to have to recheck some of the stuff that she hasn't signed off so far and make sure it gets done properly. So how would you use KPIs that track your staff performance on a daily basis against their deliverables? And that's something you've got to think about as a business owner. Like if you're going to have people performing for you, how would you track that performance? Is it going to be the number of hours worked as the number of billable hours worked? So wasted time as in productive time, so your profit that you're making back? Is it going to be for the salespeople, number of leads they generate, number of sales they close? From production staff, number of units that they get out, number of orders they fulfill. Maybe for customer service, number of complaints that are resolved, within a few minutes. So these are things that, if you're looking at your business and the way it interacts with the world at large, what do you want to know back from your business? What do you want to look at in an overall picture so that you can know things are working the way they should? Because ideally as a business owner, you want to be working on your business, not actually in the business. That's important because if you want to expand your business, increase your profitability, you need to be looking at the overall picture, not just the little micro things that are going on. So micromanagement, it does need to happen, but you don't need to do it in such a way that it's obtrusive and that it takes up all your time. Technology does help you. Okay, now we're coming up to the last one. So number 7, embed usage of the system deep into the culture of your business. And obviously I'm talking about our Artemis system here. That's rtmsapp.com. That's where we've got it set up. Now one of the hardest things to do in a business is change. The way, people always say, that's the way we've always done things. And I've been in businesses where they say that. I go, why do you print that out 5 times and put it in these trays? We've always done it that way. So, well, you probably only need to put it into the system once, print it out once. You probably don't even need to print it out at all. You probably just need to store it in the document system. And people go, well, we don't do it that way. And they're true, they don't do it that way. Everybody involved in that chain of that task probably is expecting their piece of paper, and if they don't get it, they're just going to stop and go, no, we don't do it that way. So the nature of the world is progress. So if we're able to start a process like this one, with a session to identify all of the tasks completed daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually, then you're halfway there. From there, it's a matter of identifying the steps needed to complete each task and recording that. Perhaps a staff incentive scheme based on improved performance would help. And after that, you just need to monitor and improve each time you look at how things are done. If you find a better way to implement it, do it as soon as possible. So what you're doing here is you're looking at the work we do from an entirely different direction. See, work will always expand to fill the time available. If you only have 4 hours to get your work done, you will get your work done in 4 hours. Now, Henry Ford was one of the great disruptors with the assembly line. He cut working hours from 12 to 16 hour days down to 8 hours and doubled wages. And everyone said he was crazy, and basically the rest is history. He was a genius. Now, I see the biggest problem here at the moment is that we're taking very 1900s, 2000s technology and concepts and thinking in businesses into a new age of information technology. And we are right there. We have all the tools available now to make these things as simple as possible. We can automate almost all of the administration tasks in business, yet most businesses don't do it. Why? Because we don't do it that way. This is the old way of doing it. Look, I'm still dealing with people that are writing their dockets on a piece of paper, and then their technology part is they take a photograph and they SMS it through to get paid. But that's how they do their invoicing. How would they ever find it? How do they get that over to their accountant? Obviously, I know what the accountant gets. He gets this big pile of handwritten bits of paper or a whole bunch of SMSs of all these invoices on it that they need to work out for their tax. Yeah, if you look at the current systems available, they could have Xero set up on their phone. They could all be set up there. They could put, looking at systems like Artemis, they can set up a basic system to do their accounting and have someone else do it, have a VA even do it. And this would be available to any general tradesman or even any general person offering professional services. Setting up virtual assistants is very easy. Having these sort of accountability systems in place for them is also very powerful. So what I want to do is actually ask if we have any questions from the guys. So Daniel, do we have any questions from anybody? Looking for questions? None at the moment. So here's an idea. Tell one of your senior staff that they have to get each task done for the entire day, and as soon as they get it done, they've got the rest of the day off. And pay them for the whole day, but see how much they can get through if they have the incentive to do it quickly. So make it clear there's no cutting corners, that all the work will be inspected and must be up to scratch, and basically be prepared to be surprised. If you set an incentive for people to be more efficient rather than just to burn through time, obviously time being one of the most crucial factors in our daily lives, we're not getting any back. We don't make more time. We've got a set allocation every day, and that's all we're going to get. People become very, very motivated. It's actually a very powerful thing. Now, one of the things we're looking at with the systems that we've been setting up with Artemis is that if you take all of these 7 steps, create a written task, share that system with immediate managers, making sure people inspect the work. Number 3, make the systems flexible so tasks can be switched. Number 4, ensure the systems are able to be constantly updated. Number 5, build the systems accessibility for the chain of command. Number 6, devise a set of performance statistics or KPIs so you can check on how things are going. Number 7, embed usage for the systems deep into the culture of business. Once you set all that up and you've got that in place, what that allows you to do is obviously the administration of your business becomes something that is outsourced or something that someone else does. You get to then focus on doing what you're really good at. It might be the sales, it might be actually doing the actual work. But you can focus on the part that you're actually really good at, and then you can have other people focus on what they're really good at. And then your efficiencies increase. What you get done in a day increases. You might even be able to get it done in half a day and giving you more time to do other things. And this actually leads on to the program that we've been working on, which is Free the Thinkers. And the idea of Free the Thinkers is that implementing these systems gives you time, frees up your time as a business owner to be able to go and do other things, to increase efficiencies, to come up with new ideas and set up new businesses. Anyway, this is going to come short because normally I have Hector here to have a little chat with, and we're sitting around about 18 minutes. Keep an eye out for some of the new content that's coming out, especially for the Free the Thinkers content. If you're interested in finding out how you can set systems like this up in your business, contact us. And go to our website and have a look at the other webinars which talk about how to set up a lot of the other systems in your business, and also have a look at rtmsapp.com and contact us and you'll get an introductory into that. We also have half-day workshops that we run each month. We've got one coming up in next week and then another fortnight after that, and then we'll be running those workshops every month, and we're looking at rolling that out to every major city within Australia so that you can then get hands-on and work out how to set these things up in your business in such a way, so 1, that it doesn't destroy all of your time, that you're not losing hours and hours every day trying to get systems implemented. 2, such a simple way that it becomes transparent in your business. And 3, it lets you step out from working at the coalface and step back and have a look at the overall structure of your business and work it that way. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'll leave it with you guys. Like I said, we've run this a bit short. I don't have Hector here to do the normal banter. Anyway, but thanks for watching. And like I said, if you need help in setting your business up, feel free to contact us.